Hi, welcome to Derek Does. Today, we're actually going to do this. This is my 1978 Motobecane Mobylette. I don't know if I'm doing the French right or not. It's a 50cc moped. Maybe it's a 49. It's a 50cc, 49 in that range. Again, from the previous video, if you remember, I think I said these were 77s, but I think they're 78s actually, looking at the tag. Tags for these are actually located behind the light on the actual frame by the gas can or gas tank. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna do a run over of the bike, and then I think the first thing we're gonna do is the tank. We're gonna drain it if there's anything in it, because I don't know if there is. The story on this bike, if you remember, maybe I didn't tell you the story on this bike. This was a lady, I put an ad looking for old mopeds because I've kind of got the bug. And a lady responded to me like within 20 minutes of me posting it, saying that she had this blue, beautiful blue, Motobecane that she was in her garage and she wanted to get rid of it. She bought it new in 1978, actually 77 I think, that's why it was in my head, is in the book, but it was a 78 model. And she wrote it, something happened, and we'll get to that, we'll figure it out, to the speedometer cable, that somebody got caught up in her wheels or something, and she didn't ride it ever since, probably early 80s I would assume. And so it sat. So this is kind of similar to the copper one I had that I've already restored. Same situation, that was a 79, the gentleman rode it, bought it new, rode it till probably the early 80s. And if I remember, the stuff that came out of that gas tank was disgusting and literally waffled from the garage through the walls in the house for a couple days. I could smell it. So I'm gonna leave the door open when I do this, the garage door, and hopefully it's not gonna be that bad. And then what we're gonna do, starting up, we're gonna use some the vapor rust, which I used on this one and the other moped I have, and it actually does a really good job, and it's non-toxic, it's easy to use, you just pour it in, but you're gonna let it sit for a day. So while I'm doing that, I'll start wiping down the bike. It has, you know, the original dust on it, if you will. And we're gonna kind of take apart the speedometer, see what that's about. So I have a few parts for this bike already from Treatland that I ordered for the other bike that I'm gonna use on this bike first. I'm gonna get this one running, and then we'll go back to the other one. That might be a little bit, but then we're gonna go to that one and get that one running also. I like to have both pairs going. But I've got some parts. Let's do the tank, and then I'll do the wipe down, and then see where we go from there. So you can see, still has the original dust on it. Take this apart, because obviously that's bad. This has been replaced, This has been replaced, as you can see. This is the original. And it probably should have a little M, or what was left of an M, right there. But obviously I will replace both of those with a matching set. Everything's good. I'll probably get rid of the horn. But everything else is really good. Clean up that chrome. We'll just clean up all the chrome, really. The light looks good. Again, I don't know electronically if this works or anything, because I have not even tried to turn it over or anything like that until I get at least the tank clean. If I get the tank clean, I might see if I can get something before I take it all apart, but we'll see. I moved the bike around so we can kind of see this a little better, because I'm not gonna need to get to this petcock here to take it out. But let's take off these covers first. As you can see, this with the cover off, it looks like this has been redone. And this petcock should be white. My other two are white. This one might have been replaced at one time with this black one. Pretty sure it has, because they put in a filter there, and these did not come with filters. So this has had a little bit of work done to it over the years. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove, oh, that's just hard as a, that should be soft, but it's not, it's super hard. So we'll be replacing all that. Take this off, we're gonna unscrew this, and then we're gonna drain everything, hopefully, into a container if there's anything in there. I'm gonna take a look in the gas tank and just see if I can see anything. It's really on there good. It might be cross-threaded. So these are kind of cool. They this is a Motobecane one, but they have the a dipstick basically to see how much gas you have in there. It smells kind of gassy. It doesn't smell terrible, but doesn't. Let's take a look. We're gonna take a look with the light. Now, one thing I can see, I don't know if we can capture it with the camera or not. There we go. It's got rust. Yeah, you can quite see it there. Basically, it's got rust about to here. So it must have had gas or something in it up to here, then it flashed up to that point. So that's not gonna be that too bad, because most of the gas is gonna be down here if there is any rust. So let's see if we what we do when we drain it. Got just a little extra protection, I guess. You know what I might do? Here, let me do that. I think I did this last time I did this. That's just an oil pan. And we're gonna take off, and we're gonna get some of this gas probably dripping out. Not too bad. I couldn't find any tubing that I thought I had left over, so we're gonna use just this bigger tubing. And we're gonna let this drain out without having to take that out. Hopefully, I can get this so it doesn't go everywhere. Let's see what happens. So out comes some fuel. And actually it's not that bad. I thought for sure it'd be as nasty as the other stuff I had. Okay, we're getting close. When I'm on just the regular gas, how these work is there's a tube that goes up into the gas tank. And in the gas, there's a filter that attaches to it. And there's two sides to it. And what they call a reserve gas. There really is no reserve tank on this, it's just one tank. But it allows you to get just that little extra bit of gas that's hidden when you go to reserve. Looks like it's almost out. So that hopefully that's just enough to get you to a gas station. All right, that's pretty much, and I can get a little bit more shaking it. Because once I open this up, we're gonna see more gas come out. So we know, I'm gonna close that up for now. That's taken quite a while. So I've got a cutout that hopefully I can get underneath there if need be. All right, I'm gonna get this out of the way. Out of the way, okay. Ooh, that's not in there very tight. All right, so here we go. I got most of it. None really came out. That's really great. All right, so let's wipe this down a little bit. Yeah, this is not the original petcock for this. This is an OMG made in Italy. But the nice thing is, it works. And that's all that really matters, especially when you have something old like this. So I'm gonna put this back in, and then I'm gonna put in our, oh, there we go. There was a little bit in there. And that's why I have this underneath here to catch it. Yeah. All right, we're gonna put this back on. Just like that, kind of where it was. I'm gonna take this gas out from underneath it, because we don't need that there. Actually, I'll just lift the whole thing up. All right. And let's get rid of this gas first, so we don't have an accident. So now we're gonna fill up the tank with our vapor rust. Just use a funnel, make sure there's nothing in it. And this, again, is what we're gonna use. This is a gallon of a vapor rust, super safe rust remover. I had already opened this up because I used just a little bit. And then what you're gonna do is you're just gonna always make sure that you don't have any leaks where you just were. That looks good. Now we can finish up the rest of it. Now this should hold almost this whole thing, because these tanks on a Motobecane are almost a gallon. Now when you get, sometimes I like to just bring a light so I can see when it starts to back up in the funnel, and then you know that you're getting close. All right, we're getting close. Getting real close. Let's take the funnel out for now. Can you see that? So that's where we are right now. We have just, it's almost at the top. What you want to do is get it all the way to the top. That way the vapor rust will work on any of the rust that's up there. All right. You can see we're right to the top. And now just put in the our, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually bend that this way a little bit so that the tank, because this is going to take up some room. This gas tank is, or the lid is kind of wonky. There we go. All right. So now we're just going to let this sit at least for 24 hours and see where we get. I am curious about this speedometer cable, because I remember this is something they actually talked about that had issues. And as you can see, the whole thing just came apart. The speedometer itself, she gave me in a little bag. So she gave me this, and I can see that there's a gap in this front here where that speedometer went to. Let's just see what we have here. Don't ride front wheel unsafe, she says. Evaporust is, you can leave it in longer. It's not going to ruin anything if you leave it in. I could leave it in for 2 days. I could leave it in for a week. It's fine. Got a nice little coating of dirt on there. Oh wow, this is an original belt. It still has the Motobecane on it. And you know what? This belt still looks really good. It almost looks new. I'm wondering if whoever did this also replaced the belt maybe, and then she just never really rode it after that, or maybe this accident happened after that time period. I think this is going to fire right up the moment we put some gas in it and we clean out the carb. I really don't have any doubts this is going to work fine. Obviously I'm going to replace, I'll have to order some of this rubber to redo it with the filter also. I was just seeing what it sounds like. All right, I think that's pretty good for a first day, and we will come back and we'll do this carburetor. I may keep this original carb just because everything on this bike is so nice. I'm really amazed of how nice everything is. It's just a little dirty. But first, let's take off this thing. This is ridiculous. That's better. All right, I guess that's as far as we're gonna go for on this particular video. When we come back, I think we're either gonna do the carb or we're gonna actually drain, obviously, the tank. But I might do the carb in between that. And then we'll still wipe this down, give it another visual, see what else it might need. I'm gonna look up that speedometer, check Treatlands and what's missing perhaps, maybe nothing's missing, I don't know. And then we'll be a little bit closer to getting this on the road again. If you like these videos, please subscribe, comment, let me know what, and if I'm doing something wrong. Again, I am no expert. I am just a guy that does this. And I had success with another bike and thought maybe I could have success with this bike too, because I really love these bikes. So I will see you on the next video.